Inner Line Permit, ILP, is an official travel document issued by the Government of India to allow inward travel of an Indian citizen into a protected area for a limited period. It is obligatory for Indian citizens from outside those states to obtain permit for entering into the protected state. The document is an effort by the government to regulate movement to certain areas located near the international border of India. This is an offshoot of the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulations, 1873, which protected Crown's interest in the tea, oil, and elephant trade by prohibiting British subjects from entering into these protected areas, to prevent them from establishing any commercial venture that could rival the Crown's agents. Despite the fact that the ILP was originally created by the British to safeguard their commercial interests, it continues to be used in India, officially to protect tribal cultures in northeastern India. There are different kinds of ILPs, one for tourists and others for people who intend to stay for long-term periods, often for employment purposes. It is required for entering Arunachal Pradesh through any of the check gates across the interstate border with Assam or Nagaland. An ILP for temporary visitors is valid for 15 days and can be extended, while one for those taking employment in the state and their immediate family members is valid for a year. The Arunachal Pradesh government is planning to implement a permit on arrival system. It is required for entering Mizoram through any of the check gates across the interstate borders. Typically, a temporary ILP is issued to visitors, which is valid for 15 days, and can be extended another 15 days, with the possibility of extending it to 1 month in exceptional circumstances. However, with the sponsorship of a local resident or government department, a regular ILP can be procured, which is valid for 6 months and can be renewed twice for another 6 months each. If arriving by air, an ILP can be obtained on arrival at Lengpui Airport in Aizawl. It is mandatory for Indian citizens of other states entering Nagaland through any of the check gates across the interstate borders. Dimapur, Nagaland's largest city and port head, is the only place in the state which does not require an ILP, and Indians arriving by air at Dimapur Airport can arrive and stay in the city without one. Indian citizens also need a Nagaland-issued ILP if entering Manipur by road via Dimapur or Kohima. However, demands by the government of Manipur for the introduction of the provision of an inner line permit system to restrict entry of outsiders into the state were refused. An ILP was previously required for certain parts of the Leh district in Jammu and Kashmir. This requirement was abolished by a circular issued by District Magistrate which took effect from May 1, 2014, although foreign nationals are required to get protected area permit for this region. There are also ongoing demands for the introduction of ILP in Assam, Meghalaya, and Manipur to regulate entry of outsiders into the state. Meanwhile, Muslims of the state are organizing sit-in protests demanding proper implementation of inner line permit system in the state by taking into consideration the concerns of the indigenous population. Manipur Muslim Welfare Organization, recalling the joint effort of the indigenous people of the state at the time of Anglo-Manipur War, said that the Muslim community of the state will support the movement of JSILPs in the demand for inner line permit system for safeguarding indigenous population of the state.